everyone, and welcome to the relaunch of the Stitched Pixels Flosstube channel. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who are new here or just finding my channel, I used to do videos probably 5, 6, 7 plus years ago. I started Mania 2018, filmed very sporadically for a few years, and then kind of just fell off the wagon, had other priorities, but I never stopped stitching, so I have a ton of stuff to eventually get around to showing you guys. My name is Amanda. I'm from Sudbury, Ontario, and I stitch mostly full coverage projects. I do have a smattering of smaller projects and littler things I do like to work on. I have some old kits from high school, college era that I'm slowly working my way through. But for the most part, what you're going to see here is modern cross stitch and a lot of full coverage. I am at heart an extreme cross-country stitcher, but I also like to play cross-stitch games on Facebook. There's a few groups I'm in, and I like to do their challenges or play the games. So when you have a 200,000 stitch project and you're putting in 300 confetti stitches, it's pretty hard to show your progress. So I definitely modify how I stitch based on the project and if I'm using it for fun little games on Facebook. Here is one of the kitty cats. This is little Miss Sumi. Not to be mistaken for those who used to watch me. This is not Bella. This is Sumi. Bella passed away a few years ago. So we adopted Sumi back in November. We were told she was 15 years old. The vet said no, probably not. Probably closer to 10 or 12. And she is my little glue cat. My husband wanted her, and she's stuck to me. She doesn't like him at all, so she's my kitty cat, and she's stuck to me. So she might be a regular on these videos. How I'm planning on having this work is currently I have a focus project, Sylvanas. I'll show you in a few seconds. If you are follow me on Instagram, that's all I've really been posting lately. Hopefully I'll have her done in a week to 2 weeks, and then I will move on to a new focus project. But between working on my focus project and other things, I'm also working on a goal of getting all my projects up to at least 2% complete, which is abysmal because some of these projects, I'm looking at my spreadsheet, were started in like 2018, 2019, 2021, and they're still sitting at like 1% complete. So I have a little tin here. I have 16 projects in here. All of them are over 100k stitches except for 3. So, and one of those 3 is still 80,000, and then another one is 41,000 full coverage. So all of them except for one are BAPs. So we're gonna pick a project. We're gonna do 1,000 stitches on it. And if that 1,000 stitches does not get it over the 2% line, which most of them it won't, it goes back in until it's at 2%, and then it gets relieved from the bucket. So actually, let me just get rid of this little lady right here. Zooms, down please. Ooh, she's furry. She sheds like crazy. We're gonna open this up and see what project I am going to be working on for 1,000 stitches. I don't have a time frame on how long I want these 1,000 stitches to take, but probably take me 4 or 5 days, considering I'm still spending most of my stitching time on Sylvanas. Oh, here they are. Big container. And all right, I grabbed one. Let's see what this says. All right, Year of the Dragon. All right, I'm gonna pause right here. I will go get that project, give you the start information, let you see what it looks like, and all the details. All right, found it. So here's my start point on Year of the Dragon. It's not much done. This is one of the 2021 projects that has a little over 1,000 stitches. I'll put up a photo of what it's gonna look like when it's here. This is by Unconventional xstitch. And like I said, it's at a little over 1,000 stitches, 1.33%, and the total stitch count is 79,000 and change. So 1,000 stitches will definitely get it over the 2% line, so this little guy will not be going back in the bucket. So we're cutting one off the list real quick. Probably gonna work in the confetti colors of the tail and get that done before I move on to do more of the swirly serpentine blues. Get the boring beiges out of the way first, so that way when it comes back up, when everything's aiming for 3% in like 5 years, we'll get to do some pretty blues on this one. Okay, so my other main focus piece that I work on pretty consistently is Sylvanas. I'll put up a picture here of her. She is by Make It Pink, who is hands down my absolute favorite designer in existence. You probably know her from her Disney princesses. She charts Hannah Alexander's art. And I do stitch some of those. I'm not crazy into Disney, but I do have charts for Carlac, a lot of her Mario and Pokemon stuff. I did do Anastasia years ago. I'll show that to you sometime. But I really like her World of Warcraft patterns. I'm a big gamer. I'm currently stuck playing WoW again. I go through phases where I do and don't play, and I currently am playing again. And although I'm playing Alliance right now, it's always for the Horde. Horde is life. So she is by far my favorite. This is Sylvanas. I changed the banner to Banshee Queen. This is my third one of these projects I have done, and I always change the banner. I don't like the standard name. I always like more of a title or something else. I changed Ysera to the Dreamer, and I changed Jaina to Daughter of the Sea. So these projects are, it's hard to tell, but this one is all DMC with some satin in the gems and a ton of Kryneck and very fiddly backstitch. The banners are all pretty simple, and they're all, I'm pretty sure, identical for every single one. But like this rose nearly killed me. That was a lot of work and a lot of fiddly backstitch. And I was just starting. I started with the banner, and then I started working on the flowers, and it had been a while, and I forgot how intense Make It Pink backstitch is, but it is so worth every little bit of it. Yeah, and oh, these skulls on her shoulder. That was a night, because it's fiddly backstitch in 2 strands and 1 strand and fractionals with metallic involved. It was fun. So I'm currently working on getting her collar finished out, and then I've been working on shades of skin in her face. So once I get most of her face done, then I can do the hair and her hood. I kind of like working these projects in sections, I'd like to say. So like I said, I started with the banner because those are all like kind of the same shades, and then I did the flowers because they were all the same shades, and then I did this purple bit, and then I did her, I guess, corset armor, and then I did all the flowers and the feathers, and then I've been working my way up. I did her chest piece and then the shoulder. Those are all the same shades, and once I got those done, now I'm working skin and collar on my way up. So that's her. I'm hoping, if everything goes to plan, she will be done in the next 10 days to 2 weeks. She is my primary focus. I try to get 300-400 stitches on her a day, and if that's all the stitching I get, that's all the stitching I get. It is what it is, but I want her done so I can pick my next Make It Pink project to focus on, because I have a ton of her projects and she's my favorite designer, so I always have to be focusing on one of her projects. Next up are my 2 daily 30 pieces. I do participate in Cross Stitchers Journal Daily 30 activities. This is my work whip. This is, let me find it on my spreadsheet here. Okay. This is Crazy Cat Lady by Carolyn Manning Designs. It is not technically full coverage, but it is pretty full coveragey. I'm currently working on the border. I bring it to work and I work on it for 30 minutes every day on my lunch break. It's pretty simple stitching. It's all block color, so it lends itself very well to just pick up real quick for a few minutes at work. I do use Cross Stitch Saga, so I have that loaded up on my iPhone, and I could just mark off my stitches real quick when I'm done. So that's nice and simple, and I enjoy working on it. I don't have a total stitch count of what I've done so far, but I average about 100 stitches every break, so a good 500 stitches a week adds up to 2,000 a month. Will be done her in, you know, a year or so. It's a total of 28,000 stitches, and last time I recorded it was a little over 3,000, but it's definitely more than that now. And this is my daily 30 at home project. Just if I don't work 5 days in a week, or if I take vacation or I have a holiday or whatever happens and I don't get my 5 daily 30s in on my work project, I work on Cathedral Woods Goddess by Mirabilia. I'll put a photo up. She is mostly done. I'm at her shoulders now, just gotta finish working my way up. I bead and backstitch as I go. I stitch exclusively in hand, so that doesn't bother me to have the beads in there while I'm working. She has everything called for. She's a lot of DMC. I think she has some silks and several shades of Kreinik in oh so many beads. I absolutely love working on her. I don't know why she is still not finished yet, but I am going to put in a half an hour on her today because I'm on vacation today. Like just a single vacation day just to get myself a long weekend. So that's awesome. I'll probably show you updates on the work whips, or the work whip and the daily 30 towards the end of the video. I will check back in once I'm done my either Sylvanas or my 1,000 stitches on Year of the Dragon, and we'll go from there. We'll either decide on what Make It Pink pattern I'm going to do next. I have 4 on the short list. They're all fairly small ones. And then if it's Year of the Dragon, we'll pull another tab out and see what I'm working on next. Thanks guys, see you in the next clip. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's currently Thursday the 16th, so it's been about a week since my last clip. I have spent the majority of the week focusing on Sylvanas, and I got a finish not too long ago, so hopped on here to show you guys what she looks like. She is gorgeous, she is stunning, she is everything. Definitely got a little tedious there towards the end. The top of her hood there with the Kreinik backstitch and the Kreinik band took some liberties because, yeah, I'm off by a half stitch somewhere. Don't know where. Couldn't figure it out. But looks good. No one will ever be able to tell. Super happy with how she turned out. And now she is off to the drawer of shame to hang out with all my other finished projects that will probably never get framed because that's how I am. But since I have a Make It Pink finished, I'm going to start a new one. I have 4 small-ish ones I have on the list. I'll put a picture up here. First 3 are the Pokemon starter bookmarks. I have some fabric picked out for them. I have the green for Bulbasaur, the gold for Charmander, and a blue for Squirtle. So one of those will be started, or there's Lego Terrarium. It's not very sparkly, so I picked this nice opalescent kind of beigey, pinky, sparkly fabric. These are all, I think they're all 32 count Lugana. I really hope they're all the same size because the bookmarks are supposed to be a set. So we'll see. Most of the fabric I have is 32 count. Okay, this one is definitely 32 count. The other 2, probably 32 count. They might be 28. It is what it is. So I have barely touched Year of the Dragon. I pretty much just focused on Sylvanas with all my stitchy time for the past week. But now that she's done, I'm going to spend the rest of the month working on picking a whip, doing my 1,000 stitches, and moving on. I will start one of these 4 probably at the start of August, or maybe a little sooner if I feel like it. I'm in a very sturdy mood though, so I've been watching way too much Flosstube. I'm gonna be picking up 6 portals. I'm gonna be picking up library cats. I'm probably starting them because, you know, I need another 2 million stitches added to my whip pile because, you know, I don't already have 13 million to finish. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. So yeah, those will be new starts probably later this year. I have not actually started anything this year. The only start I had was Sylvanas, and she's now finished. So all of my projects are from 2025 or very, very much later. Yeah, so if you guys have a strong opinion on which Make It Pink pattern I should start, by all means, leave it in the comments and we'll see how it goes. I might decide to just stitch what I feel like, but I could definitely use some opinions. Alright guys, see you in the next clip. Have a great one. Welcome back everyone. So it is now Saturday the 18th and I just finished my 1,000 stitches on Year of the Dragon. So it has been mostly beiges, a few blues and a few reddish colors, but yeah, a lot of beige. I did the 2 largest colors in that tail section and all the colors under 10 stitches each. So kind of chipping away at it from both ends so I don't end up with really tedious single stitches left at the end when I just kind of want to move on. And Miss Sumi's coming to say hi. Say hi. Want to go lay down? Lay down, please. Zooms. All right, and so now that we're done our 1,000 stitches on that, some stats. That has brought us up to 2.6%. So I took it out of the box last time because I knew we were going to be over. So we will pick another project. There they are. Close that up. All right, and so next 1,000 stitches is gonna be Sugar Skull Cats. Okay, I'll go grab that. All right, so I just pulled that project up on Saga and there was an error in my spreadsheet and it's actually at like over 5%. So Sugar Skull Cats has just been eliminated from the bin for a few percent. So we're gonna pull another one. Pink Skull Kitty. Okay, we're going with a theme today. Cats and skulls. Okay, be right back with this one. All right, so I grabbed her out of the closet. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. This is another unconventional xstitch. I believe it's probably on 25 or 28 count easy grid, probably 28. That's my preferred count. And this is what she looks like now. Not a heck of a lot to see because it's only a little less than 4,000 stitches out of a 240,000 stitch project. And this is remnants of when I was stitching ECC, Extreme Cross Country, so all the small colors are done across the whole thing. And then I started working on a few bigger colors down at the bottom. Plan for this will probably be to just work in the bottom left corner and kind of work my way up and out, just so I can get some progress pretty quick and so I can keep using the photos for my other stitchy games. I am working day shift for today and tomorrow, and then Tuesday's my day off. So hopefully I have a bunch of stitchy time tomorrow. I have 5 hours gloriously home alone while my husband's at work on afternoons. So hopefully within the next, probably by Monday, hopefully I'll have my 1,000 stitches in this to show you and we'll pick another project to get working on. All right, thanks everyone. Hi everyone, so it is currently July 20th. It's a little after 9 p.m. I just got this bit of stitching finished up and wanted to get everything recorded so I could pick my next project and keep working on it. So here we are. I got about 1,000 stitches, a little over 1,000 stitches done on Pink Skull Kitty. So look at my impressive blue blob and purple blob. So I'm kind of just working my way up from the bottom left corner. I am a bottom left or bottom center generally start. I stitch in hand in the way it just works for me as I stitch up as opposed to down like most people. So I'm a bottom left starter. So yeah, just working my way across the bottom. Pretty blues though. I'm really enjoying the background on this. Getting into a little bit of tail here, like I believe this is tail. So yeah, that was great. I had a really good stitchy day yesterday after work. I managed a little over 600 stitches, and then I finished up with another 300 and some today. Next up, I'm going to show you my work whip and my daily 30 at home piece, because I am going to wrap up this video after this clip, so that way you can see what I've done since the start. I believe in the last clip though I was holding this the wrong way. Here is Crazy Cat Lady, Carolyn Manning. I've put in about 900 stitches this month. I'm not sure how many since the last photo or last bit you saw, but this is the end of the top of the border on the top. So I just have, I think, 3 more squares to do up and then filling in all the triangles, which is tedious, but I only work on it for half an hour at a time at work, so it doesn't get too monotonous. And then I can start grabbing a few colors for the cats that are along the edges and start working on those guys. Super excited to see some progress on this over the summer and the next few months at work. And then my other project that I work on half an hour a day if I have the day off, just so I can get like my daily 30 stitches done on something, is currently Cathedral Woods Goddess. You saw her last time, but I've been working on her little shoulder bits. I got a lot of metallics done, did a bit of beading, a lot of silks added in. I'm really enjoying this piece. Next time I pull her out, probably gonna do a lot of beading, because most of these empty bits all in and around here all require beads. So probably gonna do some beading. And there's like beads on the tips of all the leaves and everything, and like along all the brown leaves. So that'll be fun to do, get some more bling in on her. Really enjoying this piece too. I don't know why it's been sitting around for an eternity without me working on her nearly enough. So I got that. So far this month, I have managed, sorry, looking at my summary, 10,605 stitches, which is, I think, pretty good. I haven't tracked stitches in a very long time, and my life has changed significantly over the last few years. So before, I was easily happily do 1,000, 1,500 stitches a day. That's not realistic anymore with the amount I work and spending time on other things. So I think I'm pretty happy with how things are. I have stitched every day so far this month, which I'm really happy about. I've actually stitched every day since June 13th. So I think that's a pretty good streak. I plan on tracking my stitches all of this for the rest of this year to kind of see what an average would be for monthly stitching. That way I can figure out big goals, like, okay, so I want to finish this height in X amount of time. Is it realistic? Because I don't want to spend all my stitches on a focus piece, maybe a third, and then 2/3 on what I want to stitch or whatever game I want to play or something to that effect. So I think about a third of my stitches are going to go to a focus, and we'll see what kind of number that looks like and see what I could reasonably finish, because I do like to get some finishes in the year. So let's pick my next project. I'll get it out. We'll see where the start point is, and then in the next video, we'll see my progress. So little bucket, give her a good shake. Bunch of little bits of paper in here. And project will be Cat Queen Nefertiti. Beautiful. Okay, give me a few seconds. I think I know where that is. All right, I got my project. So this is what she's gonna look like. This is another pattern by Unconventional Xstitch. Those papers seem to be having a theme. The only 3 I've picked are my 3 Unconventional Xstitch. And there's 2, it looks like there's 2 more in that bucket, so probably the next 2 we're gonna pull. She is fairly small. The whole project is 104,000 stitches-ish, and I'm doing her on a high count. So this is Extreme Cross Country, 1,800 stitches done. I'm gonna do another 1,000 on her, which will definitely bring her over the 2% line. She's already at 1.8. So 1,000 stitches will bring her probably close to 4%, if not higher. I don't want to math. I will probably continue doing this Extreme Cross Country because she is small and on a high count. I want to say this is probably 25 or 28. Only the really massive ones are on 32 because that's just not my happy place. And yeah, we'll keep going Extreme Cross Country with this one because I can get the whole project in like 1 frame when I take a photo of it. So that'll be easy enough for stitchy games. And I'm getting into the bigger colors now. Well, not bigger, but I think they're, let me pull this up in Pattern Keeper. Each color is 100 stitches or more. So that'll hopefully at least be mildly noticeable. If I do 300-400 stitches, you can see them all hanging out together. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thank you everyone for joining my relaunch of Flosstube. I hope you enjoyed the video. Any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to leave comments in the video. Also, you can check out my Instagram, same handle, stitched_pixels, and I do post there fairly often, not daily, but I do try to put something up every few days or so, keep up to date on what I'm working on. Alright, so hopefully everyone has a great week and a good stitchy weekend coming up, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you everyone, have a great day.